Hi, 5th grade. This is Mrs. Gioka with your Flip Math lesson for today, 2-4. Today's objective is I can use models to show sums and differences. So our first question to ask ourselves is how can you add decimals using grids? We're going to be using these to add and subtract with decimals. Here's an example of a grid. It looks very much like a hundreds chart. Imagine that this is a large piece of chocolate and then I cut it into 100 tiny pieces. If you ate all 100 tiny pieces, then you have eaten the whole piece of chocolate. Okay, so 100 100ths equals one whole. So if we filled in the whole thing, that's going to equal one whole. Okay? So this is a table we're going to use to solve a problem. It has a list of devices and how much each device costs per month to use. A DVD player costs 40 cents a month. A microwave costs $3.57 a month. A lamp costs 89 cents a month. And the dishwasher costs 85 cents per month. Our question is, use the table to find the total monthly cost of the dishwasher and the DVD player. Our important information is that we need to find the total monthly cost of the dishwasher and the DVD player. The dishwasher costs 85 cents per month and the DVD player costs 40 cents per month. We're going to use our grids to put those two decimals together and find the total monthly cost. So here I have written an expression that shows 85 cents plus 40 cents. And then I have a grid to help me out. So my first decimal is 85 cents. So I'm going to use my marker and I'm going to fill in 85 of these tiny little boxes out of 100 to show 85 cents. So each row I know is worth 10. So I'm going to fill in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Now to that I'm going to add 40 cents. Now I'm going to start right here and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I add 10 more to that, that's 15. I've run out of room. So I need to add a second grid. So I'm going to have a second grid here. And again, that was 10, 15, 25, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. This is what it looks like on my grid. So I have filled in this much on my grid. I filled in one whole grid and then I have filled in this portion of a second grid. So I just count that up. So this is one whole, so that equals 1. And then this portion is 25. So one whole and 25 out of 100 pieces, or 25 hundredths. So my answer is 1.25, or 1 and 25 hundredths. Let's practice on another one. Find the difference per month for the microwave and the lamp. So this time I'm going to find the difference, which means I'm subtracting, of the microwave, which is $3.57, and the lamp, which is 89 cents. So I'm going to subtract that using my models. So here's another area model for me to use. So $3.57, and then I'm going to subtract 89 cents. So I'm going to start by filling in 3 whole grids, and then I will fill in 57 hundredths on the next grid. Okay, you can see that I colored in 3 whole grids to show 3 holes, and then 57 hundredths, I colored that on this grid. There's 57 out of those 100 pieces that are colored in. Now I'm going to take away 89 hundredths. So I'm going to change colors so I can see the difference, and I'm going to take away 89. So I'm going to start going backwards here and start with this one and say that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and now I need to take away 9 more. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now everything that I have left over is what I'm going to count. So I've got 1 hole here, a second hole here, so I know I've got 2 holes, which equals the number 2, and then I have this portion left over. So I count how much that is. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. So 2 and 68 hundredths left over. That's my answer. Okay, now it's your turn. See if you get these right using your grids. 1 and 22 hundredths plus 34 hundredths. Use your grid to solve the problem and see if you can find the solution. So I took my first add-in here, 1 and 22 hundredths, and I colored that in blue. You can see I colored in 1 whole grid and then 22 hundredths of a grid. Then I colored in a different color at 34 hundredths using orange, and I had to pay really close attention to where they started, because this 34 hundredths started in the middle of the grid. So it started here, and I know that was 10. Then I added another 10, that's 20, and then 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when I look at the whole thing, I see that there's 1 hole, so 1, and then I count how many 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then there are 6 hundredths in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it equals 1 and 56 hundredths. Number 2, 63 hundredths plus 41 hundredths. Okay, so I put 63 hundredths in purple, and you can see that right here. This shows 63 hundredths. Then I added on 41 hundredths in blue, and I had to be very careful as I added it on because it starts in the middle of this row. So this is 10, then 20, then 30, and 40, and then that's 41 right there. So that was the end. So then I look at the whole thing all together and see how much I have. I have 1 whole grid, so 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4 hundredths. So 4 hundredths. So it's very important that that 4 goes in the hundredths place, not in the tenths place. And that's my answer. Okay, now you are finished for today.